Welcome to our next video on our orientation journey. This video will deal specifically with any queries you might have regarding the academics of Boston Media House. We will look at general information, final grades and pass marks, appeals, progression, assessments, extensions, plagiarism, and supplementary assessments. Boston Media House remains a contact institution, but due to COVID-19 and lockdown, our qualifications will continue to be offered through a blended learning model as we continue in semester A of 2020. This blended learning model will combine teaching and learning on our learner management system called Campus and controlled campus attendance through workshops as COVID-19 regulation permits. Information on the workshops and contact classes will be communicated to registered 2021 students through SMS communications and announcements on Cole Campus. Just a reminder, if you want to discuss any course-related issues with your lecturer, please have a look at our orientation video, Who to Contact for What, as you are permitted to contact and discuss your course-related concerns with your lecturer right after your lectures or by setting up an appointment with the relevant lecturer. It is compulsory that you pass all your subjects within your program according to your subject choices. The minimum grade to pass a subject is 50%. However, for the computer modules of Windows, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, the pass mark is 75%. I will repeat that. The minimum grade to pass a subject is 50%. However, for the computer subjects, Windows, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, the pass mark is 75%. I strongly encourage each of you to visit your subjects on Cole Campus, and you will see that your lecturer and academic managers have uploaded the subject outline for that subject. If you have a look at the subject outline, you'll see on the last page, it says to you that this subject comprises out of the following assessment events. Usually, for first-year subjects, there are only 2 assessment events, a formative assessment, which counts 40% of your final mark, as well as a summative assessment, the final assessment, which comprises 60% of your final mark. Therefore, to pass Advertising 1, you need to obtain at least 20% from your formative and 30% from your summative to obtain the final passing average of 50%. Just a reminder, your subject outlines can be found on Cole Campus under each specific subject. Appeals. Students have the right to appeal an assessment outcome. The academic appeal process is available at the Student Information Desk at your branch, as well as Cole Campus. Please have a look. We will have a specific video that deals with how to lodge an academic appeal on this platform. Now, all your assessments will be returned to you, either on Cole Campus, or if it was a physical submission, it will be returned to you by the lecturer on campus. Now, assessments are returned to you for the advancement of learning. What does that mean? It is returned to you so you can see, where did I go wrong? How can I improve on my performance for my summative or for my supplementary that is coming up? Also, your assessment is returned to you to verify your grade on your progress report. In other words, if my test for my Advertising 1 says I got 50%, when I receive my progress report, does it correlate with the mark I received on my assessment? Then, if there is a discrepancy, you can lodge an academic appeal. Now, usually all assessments are returned to students if your tuition fees are up to date. However, if you are completing an exit point, exit level subject, your summative assessment will not be returned to you until external moderation has been completed and the results have been released. What does external moderation mean? External moderation means that a person from outside an institution, whether it is a person from the industry or of another academic institution, comes, investigates, and moderates your assessment to see whether it is up to standard and verifies the results. As soon as that process is completed, students are able to receive their final assessments back. Usually, this is only in your final year of study, and this does not necessarily apply to first year students. Progression. Very obviously, a student may not progress to the next level of a multi-level subject until they have passed the previous level. For example, if you have failed advertising 2, you cannot proceed onto advertising 3 yet until you have passed advertising 2. And the same for if you had failed advertising 1, you cannot proceed to advertising 2 until you repeat and pass advertising 1. If you are required to repeat a subject, you may do so whilst continuing with the next level of subjects which you have passed, academic timetable permitting. So for example, let's say you passed advertising 1 and you failed journalism 1. Because you passed advertising 1, you can in your second year continue with advertising 2. However, you cannot continue with journalism 2 in your second year, as you first have to repeat journalism 1. But it is possible for you in your second year to continue with advertising 2 whilst repeating advertising 1. Assignments or assessments. Now, you will be informed of any assessments, whether it takes the form of tests, assignments, presentations, videos, at least 2 weeks in advance. Please have a look at the academic calendar available on Cole Campus on 2021 General Information under modules. There will clearly indicate to you when you will be briefed on your next assessments. On Cole Campus, for every subject, the assessment briefs will be available with detailed information on what you need to study or what you need to complete for this assessment, as well as the due dates. Please note that the assessment periods are also indicated on your academic calendar. If you are absent or suspended, it is your responsibility to ensure that you find out everything you need to know regarding the assignment or assessments and the due date. But all this information is also available on Cole Campus. Now, it's important to remember that scopes for test or exam type events are only issued at the discretion of academic managers. It is not your right to receive a scope for a test. It is at the discretion of the academic managers whether they would like to issue you with a scope. All assignments must be handed in as per the assessment brief instructions. Most of your assessments will be submitted on the Cole Campus platform. Please make sure that you familiarize yourself with how this platform works, how you need to submit your assignment. Please make sure you read the instructions carefully and also read the documents that contains information on how to write a test on Cole Campus and also how to submit an assignment on Cole Campus, so that you can familiarize yourself with this platform, as this is the platform you will be using throughout your studies. Also note that no late assessments will be accepted on Cole Campus, nor will it be marked. So in other words, if you have a whole week to submit your assignment, if the cutoff time is Friday night, 23:59, then that is the cutoff time. You will no longer be able to either participate in writing your test or to submit your assessment. And if you then do miss the cutoff time, I will discuss this a little bit later, you will be given permission to participate in the supplementary event. Extensions. Sometimes something happens and you know I will not be able to submit or to write my test in time. This could be because you either have to go into the hospital for surgery or you need to go onto a business trip. You need to submit an extension request form to myself, the academic coordinator, but you must submit it at least 10 working days before the assignment due date. This extension application will be submitted to the relevant academic manager for review. The request outcome will be communicated to yourself either via telephone call or SMS and in writing. Just a reminder, if you do miss the submission of either your formative or summative in 2021 due to COVID-19, all students will have automatic access to the supplementary event at no cost. Plagiarism and academic conduct. Plagiarism is considered an offense against academic integrity and honest conduct, character, and academic manners. You need to learn how to use the Harvard referencing method, and you will learn how to use this Harvard referencing method in a subject called academic literacy. Once again, I refer you to your Cole campus and the 2021 general information. If you go under modules, you'll see there's a Harvard's beginner's guide that you can download that can help you with your academic writing, as well as a beginner's guide to plagiarism to ensure that you avoid being found guilty of plagiarism. If a student is found guilty of plagiarism, if you are a first year student, the lecturers will deduct minus 20% from your assessment mark. If you are a second year student, the lecturers will deduct minus 50% from your assessment mark. And if you are a third and fourth year student, your lecturer will deduct minus 100% marks of your assessment mark. Therefore, plagiarism and using the Harvard referencing method correctly is imperative for your studies at any tertiary institution. Now, you heard me referring to supplementary assessment. Now, we acknowledge and understand all the challenges with COVID-19. Therefore, all students have automatic access to both the formative and summative supplementary events at no cost. You will only receive one chance to write a sub. There is no additional sub for a sub. So, for example, with the upcoming formative assessments that are being submitted the last week of April, if either A, you do not submit your assessment or you miss the cutoff, you will be automatically granted access to the formative one supplementaries later in the semester. The same for the summative assessments. If you miss the cutoff time or do not submit your summative assessment in June, you will automatically be granted access to the summative supplementary in August at no cost. But if you miss this formative or summative supplementary event, you will not be given another opportunity and you will forfeit the right to participate in that assessment event. Also note that a supplementary has to be completed in the semester of you completing your formative and your summative. So if it's a semester A subject, your summative supplementary will be written in August. If it is a semester B summative supplementary, it will be written in January of the following year. We also strongly encourage you to participate in a supplementary event if you achieve below 50% for your formative or your summative assessment. This will dramatically improve your chances of passing the subject. I'll repeat. If the mark you obtained originally in either the formative or the summative assessment was below a pass mark, we strongly encourage you to participate in that supplementary event to increase your chances to pass the subject. You are responsible for consulting the branch and checking your SMS communication during the supplementary assessment notice period. This communication will contain important information on the dates, the times, and for which supplementary assessments you have qualified to participate in. The supplementary assessment list is available to all students, regardless of your tuition account status. So even if your account is in arrears, you still automatically have the right to participate in a supplementary event, and you will also be informed when your supplementary event will be taking place by the relevant branch. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. And please make sure that you look at all our other videos to stay informed with what's going on here at Boston Media House.